I'm finally back from RenderATL. I've had a couple days to relax and reset. And looking back, I got to tell you that Render is one of the most stressful conferences I've ever been to. Let's talk about it. If you have followed any of my content, or especially me at conferences, you may know that I've been at RenderATL the last 4 years. This is the fourth year in a row, and I'm a huge fan. And I started this video by saying how stressful it is, and that is absolutely true. And I want to first just address it is stressful because there's so many things going on at a time. There's so many talks at a time. There's so many after party events. There's so many people that I want to talk to. That's actually one of the most stressful things for me is I like to get everything out of a conference that I possibly can. This is like the one or two or three, four times a year that you get to be in person with people that you look up to, people that you enjoy hanging out with, people that do really interesting stuff, people that you want to learn from, people you want to network with, people you want to meet, all the things. So for me, that's really stressful because I have so many people. I feel like I'm walking through the halls at Render and I like see someone and I see someone else and I'm like, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. And I never feel like I have enough time to talk to people individually. And that's a good problem to have, but it also is kind of stressful. So Render this year was really interesting because this was 1 year. 1 year ago, I met the Make Swift team, which is who I work for now. And I was talking to the Make Swift team about the Make Swift products, and they were saying, like, yeah, we're looking to hire a head of developer experience role. And they were telling me more and more. And they're like, yeah, so if you know anyone that's interested, let me know. Send them our way. And I was like, well, actually, the more that you talk about this, this is something that I might be interested in. And we talked more and more, and it took a few months, but I ended up starting full time with Make Swift last October, which is pretty cool because there's actually a picture of me sitting down and talking with the team last year, and then obviously like this year with the team representing Make Swift and Big Commerce, who is the parent company of Make Swift. So that's a really like full circle, cool story, and I want to bring that up too, just because for people that like either you're attending conferences or you're thinking about attending a conference, you never know what one of those connections can lead to. Like Render, again, there's so many people, but conferences of any different size, individual people that you might meet, speakers, sponsors, etc. You never know what might come out of those connections. And for me, last year, I was kind of at a point where I was doing content full time. I think I realized I was really burnt out on that more than I realized then. And I was really ready for something full time. So I was starting to kind of explore a little bit. I actually gave a talk last year at Render about basically how to find a job and how to be more effective at finding jobs. And one of the things I talked about was how I'd already been talking to a company in Cloudflare about a role in as kind of a manager in DevRel, and they just ghosted me. And so the talk was a lot about like how hard it is to find jobs, etc. And the irony of like giving that talk and then meeting the Make Swift team and then starting with them a few months later, all because of being there at Render and just taking advantage of the opportunity around me to be around people. So anyway, Render this year was super cool. This is the first time that my wife has gone, so we both got to go together. That was really cool. Usually it's just me, but she works for Austeero doing their events, and they sponsored Render as well. So we got to be there together. That was cool. The Make Swift team put on a VIP happy hour. Let's see, Thursday night at Putt Shack. That was super cool. We had so many people join us that were so much fun. Like really cool people to talk to. The venue was cool. We had food and drinks and all the things. That was really awesome. The booth experience that we had at Make Swift, I think was really cool as well. A big focus for us was recruiting. So we got to recruit a lot of people for a few different roles. If you're interested in any of those roles, reach out to me. We have a couple of engineering roles that are preferably in Atlanta, but not required. And then a couple of technical project or project manager roles that are more specifically remote. So we talked to a lot of people about jobs and careers. I actually did a workshop, which is really cool. The video I did last week talked about this, which was Make Swift and Contentful and just integrating those in Next.js. And that was interesting because you can take Contentful data, you can pull it into a Next.js project, you can integrate it into Make Swift to make stuff visually editable, let people customize blog post pages, etc. And I feel like that went really well. And then my teammate Josh gave his first talk ever on stage, and it was a room full of 50 or 60 people. And that was really incredible because I had worked with him. A couple of us had worked with him on like getting ready for the talk. And I feel like that went so well. So that was really cool to see as well. Anyway, there's just lots of really good stuff. I don't know. It was a ton of fun. It is exhausting. And I started the episode. That's not episode. The video by saying that because it really is just overwhelming how many different people, how many different activities, how many different talks, how many different, whatever there are that you have to choose from. That's stressful. So one of the things I actually kind of wrote about in a blog post is how to maintain your mental health at conferences. And the short answer is like really giving yourself grace. Like you don't have to do everything. You can't be everywhere at once. You can't do everything even if you want to. So kind of pick and choose your spots, have grace for yourself, take breaks when you need to. I'll have a link to that blog post if you want to read more. Anyway, Render was a ton of fun. I am excited to go back next year. Super cool that my wife got to go. And we got to do that together. Super cool to be with the Make Swift team. Super cool just to see like friends and like fellow speakers and people that I haven't seen in a while, and to be able to meet new people as well. So all in all, that was Render 25 for me. I've got a few more events coming up. I'm preparing for a workshop at Vercel Ship on PPR, partial pre-rendering. So that's going to be like, that's next week. So the rest of this week is very highly focused on that. That'll be a really cool, like kind of deep dive into PPR. And then I've got a few more talks the rest of the year scheduled. And then baby comes in October. So October 27th, I think, is the due date. So that'll be an interesting, like, we'll see what the next year holds with us having two kids and trying to balance, like, Jess and I both working and potentially traveling, although probably a lot less than what we do now. So, anyways, that was Render 25 for me. Amazing time. Hope everyone else that was there enjoyed it. If you weren't there this year, consider checking it out next year. Anyways, thanks for checking out the video, and I'll catch you next time.